Hey, it's good to actually see you, or for you to see me. I'm not going to talk about the tech disaster that I had. I want to talk to you about the new book, How Design Makes the World. It is weird when authors always get asked, well, what you read the book for? What's the book about? And hopefully, as a writer, the title itself should inform you as a possible reader about what that means, how design makes the world. Well, I think that everything in the world, everything we use, everything we interact with, every system that affects us, was designed by someone. And maybe they did a good job, maybe they did a bad job, but whatever they chose to do, we are all impacted by it. Whether we're engineers or designers, or whether we're school teachers or bus drivers, whatever we do, our lives are heavily impacted by these people who make things. Most people, though, in their everyday lives, just use stuff. We're trying to get stuff done. We're trying to survive. We use things every day, from our phones to our cars to our doorknobs to our light switches. We're just trying to get stuff done. And what good designers do when they're successful, they let us live our lives. For the most part, people don't even think about how much work goes into making that stuff happen. And the goal for the book was, or is, to help everyone understand the world from that point of view, to start looking at things that we use, the good things and the bad things, and to be able to ask much better questions about them. Questions like, well, what are the strengths of this design? What are the weaknesses of it? Why did they choose to make it work this way and not the other way? Who is it designed for? Who was excluded and left out? What were the trade-offs of this? Is this thing going to last in 5 years or 10 years, or is it something that's only meant for the short term? And who got to decide all things? How are they chosen to have that kind of power over our lives? And the goal of the book, I'm giving you a list of questions, but the goal of the book is to use stories that clearly have a direct impact on us as the introduction for anyone to start to unravel and unpack these questions. So it's called How Design Makes the World, to let everyone be invited into that because it all affects us. The secondary goal for the book, or maybe it's not the secondary goal, an additional goal of the book I had in mind, having spent a lot of my career working as a designer and with designers, designers find it really frustrating and really difficult to teach other people about design. There's so much to know, and we feel so left out all the time in conversations about why things just are successful or not, that we're not generally that good at teaching people to start to see good design or appreciate and start asking questions about whether design is good or bad. And so one goal of the book was to give a tool to all designers, all people who make stuff and have thought about this, to give them a toolkit, a better set of stories, a new way to frame how you teach people this stuff that they can use. You can give the book to a coworker or a client or a CEO or a family member or your dad who never quite understood what you did. The goal of the book is, through getting people to start to understand through these stories and ask better questions, to naturally realize how amazing and important the work that designers do is. We had a thread on Twitter just now, this contest that we ran about important designs that people don't notice because of how well they work. And one of the things that came up was a pencil sharpener. So this is a Prism pencil sharpener. It's in most of the plastic ones that you see. You can buy them on their own. They're pretty cheap. It's one that I have. And when you start to look at it, it's actually got a whole bunch of fascinating choices they made about making it really small, making it so that the blade could be taken out and sharpened or replaced. It's got fittings and grooves on the side so that it holds your fingers just perfectly, much like a pencil, which I have somewhere around here. A pencil, we never think about them, but because of the hexagon design that they fit in our hands really naturally. We can pick one up and use it. It's got a built-in undo feature on the top. You can do this about anything. You can take any object around you at any time, and once you start getting into the habit of asking these questions, it goes to really interesting places. There are flaws and problems and weaknesses in designs. This pencil sharpener has nowhere to put the waste. It's also easy to lose because it's so small. Trade-offs are inherent in all these questions about design, and that's a major thrust of the book, is to help people start to see the trade-offs between convenience and sustainability and preference for one group of people but exclusion of other group of people, and how that's inherent in all the decisions that are made regarding design. So that's in a short 5-minute improvised non-live stream but still video explanation of the book and why I wrote it and why I hope that you check it out. Thank you.